Khamzat Chimaev just went on record about a confrontation his team had with Sean Strickland, and in the same breath named the fighters he considers the most complete in all of MMA, placing himself in some very elite company. In a recent interview, Chimaev highlighted himself, Islam Makhachev, Ilia Topuria, and Arman Tsarukyan as the most well-rounded fighters competing today. According to Khamzat, modern MMA is no longer a sport where you can survive being one-dimensional. He made it clear that being a pure wrestler with no striking or grappling awareness simply won't cut it against top-level UFC competition. Chimaev pushed back hard on the narrative that some of these guys are just wrestlers. He pointed to Islam Makhachev finishing fights with his hands, Ilia Topuria's criminally underrated grappling, and Arman Tsarukyan's high-level all-around game as proof that the best in the sport today can hurt you everywhere. He also addressed the situation with Sean Strickland directly, revealing that some of his teammates recently got in Strickland's face over comments he made. But Khamzat, he brushed the whole thing off, saying it doesn't even matter to him because he simply doesn't take Strickland seriously. With Chimaev set to defend his title against Strickland in their upcoming clash, the bad blood is only continuing to build. Let's hear it straight from Khamzat.
Я вижу твою реакцию на некоторые выпады Шона Стрикленда, и это тебя не злит, а наоборот, как будто забавляет.
Ты в цирк идешь, когда там клоун уступает, у тебя какая реакция должна быть? Мои друзья подходили даже к Шону, так подходили у него, что так, то все. Даже им говорил, братья, типа, я бой хочу получить. Я не люблю фальшивых людей. Надо быть реалистом.
Ну, раскрутил он, я тебе скажу, интересно этот бой все-таки тоже.
Все честно, мне по барабану. Что он сделал, не сделал, мне сейчас выйти в клетку и подраться. И свои деньги добрать, улететь домой. Семья побыть там.
Sean Strickland just fired back with one of the most unhinged warnings we've heard ahead of a title fight. In response to the confrontation with Chimaev's team, Strickland made it brutally clear he'd handle any real-life situation himself, and he didn't stop there. He brought up his gun and made zero apologies about it, leaving no doubt about what he was implying, that this rivalry just hit a whole new level. But Strickland also went off on another topic that's been bothering him: why he was left off the White House card, despite being one of the most outspoken American fighters on the entire UFC roster. According to Sean, the UFC kept him away from that event on purpose. They know he can't help himself when it comes to cracking jokes about Donald Trump and other politicians, and a politically loaded event like that was simply too big a risk. Strickland actually admitted he gets it. He understands why the UFC didn't want him anywhere near that spotlight. Given his track record of saying the most unpredictable things at the absolute worst moments, even he had to admit it would have been a disaster waiting to happen. Let's hear what Sean had to say.
Do you feel a certain way that you are not on the White House card, being such a proud American?
I mean, I don't know, dude. I do make fun of Trump a lot. I mean, you know, the list got a little weird. Got a little weird, right? Like, got a little weird, you know? I think they know that I would be like, I think they know that I probably wanted to shut the fuck up. I think they know. I would win a fight and be like, so guys, are we going to release that anytime soon? Which one of you the kids? If you were to come up to me like a man, say, you know what, Sean, you said some things about my dad, Kaderov. And I'm like, well, you know what, dude? You whore yourself out, not me. I want to settle this. I would say, let's settle this like a man. But if you come up to me with three fucking go-fucker Chechens that don't speak English, I'm going to pull my gun and I'm going to shoot each and every one of you.
You happen to see Dana White's reaction during the whole thing? They interviewed him afterwards. They were telling him to get under tables, and he just said he just
Let me tell you, I'm sure Dana White is a sociopath. I'm sure like he's a super narcissistic sociopath.
Things got spicy in Justin Gaethje's training camp as he gears up for his title unification bout against Ilia Topuria, and this story is making waves across the entire MMA world. According to a Russian training partner who spoke to Ushitaka, Gaethje got dropped in sparring by a hard head kick, and things got heated fast, especially once Justin realized the moment might have been caught on camera. The source went ahead and broke one of the oldest unspoken rules in MMA: you don't expose what goes down in the gym, especially when it involves catching someone off guard. But here's why he spoke up anyway. After that incident, there's essentially zero chance he ever trains with Gaethje again. When you've got nothing to lose, the story carries no real risk, and frankly, it got people talking. He also chose to break it through a local Russian outlet, probably figuring it'd stay regional and never reach Western MMA media. That plan didn't exactly work out. When asked directly about the incident, he confirmed it. Gaethje went down from the kick, then immediately grabbed his teammate's phone and tried to stop the footage from getting out before the Pimblett fight. For fans who followed his last camp against Pimblett, this isn't entirely surprising. His previous vlog showed a head clash with a training partner and Usman submitting him during preparation, fueling the ongoing conversation about just how intense and risky his training sessions get.
Короче, мы пришли на спаррингах, и мой брат, я ему сказал то, что снимай, короче, с первого раунда до последнего со всеми. И потом тренер Джастин Гейджи мне сказал то, что просто дай ему хороший раунд, да. И мы оба как бы уставшие были, и просто как бы на характер и на кайф, да. Потом я его как бы раз ногой бросил, и получилось очень хорошо. После этого я вышел, и он пошел к моему брату, говорит то, что дай мне телефон. Потом я говорю, что Джастин, ты думаешь, что я это буду выкладывать? Я ему говорю то, что серьезно, у тебя на кону будет, не делай это никогда. Нет. Он вот такой как бы...
Joe Rogan is not holding back when it comes to Olympic gold medalist and wrestling phenom Gable Steveson. He's calling him one of the very best heavyweights on the planet right now, and the man hasn't even set foot in the UFC octagon yet. On the latest JRE MMA show, Rogan broke down exactly why Stevenson's rare combination of explosive speed, knockout power, and world-class wrestling makes him an instant nightmare for the entire heavyweight division. Rogan's take? The heavyweight division is incredibly thin at the top right now. You've got Tom Aspinall, John Jones if he ever decides to come back, and now Alex Pereira. That's essentially it at the elite level. And Rogan believes Steveson is already operating at championship caliber, with only a small handful of fighters on Earth who could even pose a real problem for him. Rogan even texted Dana White after watching Steveson compete, telling him straight up that everyone in the heavyweight division is in trouble. Now let's keep it real, Gable still has a long road ahead of him. He hasn't fought in the octagon yet, and the UFC heavyweight division is unforgiving no matter how decorated your wrestling resume is. You still have to prove yourself against the monsters at the top of that weight class. But when Joe Rogan is this fired up this early about someone, that's not just noise, that's the kind of smoke that tends to turn into real fire. Let's hear exactly why he's so high on Steveson right now.
A fight, an MMA fight, we hit that dude with a left hook and then took him down while he was out cold. I sent Dana White a text message. I said, everyone's fucked. I did. Because I was like, that kind of speed is crazy. Like, that kind of speed and incorporated with elite wrestling is crazy. The heavyweight division is so shallow right now. You got Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane, John Jones if he chooses to fight again, Francis if by some miracle they can work something out and bring him back to the UFC. Other than that, there's no one compelling for like a championship caliber fighter. There's basically 4 or 5 guys on earth that are in this like championship caliber class, and you're already there, which is nuts, and you haven't even fought in the UFC yet. When I watched you move and I watched you fight, I was like, okay, how do you stop that? Who's got the skills to be able to stop that? There's like only a few guys where it's going to be a problem. The Francis Ngannous, the Cyril Ganes and the Tom Aspinalls. That's it.
That's it from MMA Time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for daily MMA updates.